Coming up on SUTV News, we'll let you know about the Mr. SU results.
And later, we'll talk about the Cedar City Community Forum. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome to SUTV News. I'm Kyle Cook.
And I'm Ryan Sunderman. The Confucius Institute is holding its 4th annual celebration this evening at 6 p.m. in the Heritage Center Theater, offering Asian food tasting and special performances by magician Jason Byers and the Cedar City Junior Ballet. The celebration, put on every year by the Institute, is to bring more Chinese culture to Cedar City and to show that the Institute has more to offer students. Tonight's event is expected to have over 1,000 students and community members attend. This event is free and open to the public.
Homecoming started yesterday at Southern Utah University, and the Dive-In movie was the first event of the week. My co-anchor Ryan has the story.
On September 23rd, SUU kicked off Homecoming Week, showing 2 movies in the pool in the PE building. The movies were the new Aladdin and Aquaman. These movies were chosen due to response and timing, according to the event director in charge.
So the reason why we picked the Aladdin movie for the community movie is the fact that everybody loves throwback with Disney movies, and the live-action Aladdin movie was a huge hit with a lot of people, so we were super excited for that one.
Homecoming is not only for students, staff, and faculty of the university, but also alumni. It not only gives them a chance to return to SUU, but also to have fun and interact with old friends and their families living in the Cedar City area.
I'm really excited about the Dive-In movie. My family always gets excited because it's a nice opportunity for SUU students and the SUU community to really get involved with the community of Cedar City, and that's really what the school is all about.
A college homecoming event is a good way to bridge gaps between generations, and a movie night is a great way to lay the groundwork for an even bigger week. For SUTV News, I'm Ryan Sunderman. On Friday, September 20th, the Student Programming Board of SUU hosted the Mr. SUU pageant. Mr. SUU is one of the most favorite events of the year here at SUU. With 6 contestants competing for the crown, the crowd didn't have any problems cheering and bringing energy. The competition was held in the auditorium on Upper Campus, and it consisted of 3 different sections: talent, spirit wear, and formal wear. After the voting at the end of the night, Mikey Stevens won the People's Choice Award, and Jared Cooksey won the title of Mr. SUU. Brandon Gunny, Executive Director of Still Marketing, said the event helps bring SUU students together.
It benefits students because it just gets them find new friends and stuff like that. That's how I got friends, is when I started going to events. Seeing the same people over and over again, you soon to become friends and everything. That's why it's so beneficial to have events like this.
It actually was a lot of fun. I don't know if we have final accounts of attendance yet, but I know we at least doubled attendance from last year.
All right. Did you go to both the Aladdin and Aquaman?
I went to the last 30 minutes of Aladdin and about the first hour of Aquaman. Honestly, I couldn't sit through Aquaman any longer. It was a shot in the foot. It was a horrible movie to watch.
I only do it for Jason Momoa, honestly.
I mean, if that's the only reason, things could be worse.
Coming up, we'll talk about safety in Cedar City.
And later, the news on medication recall. We'll be right back.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft. To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60. Now I get it.
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
All of them. The Cedar City Police Department asked for the community to be vigilant due to a rape that occurred on September 18th. The department states that the rape occurred around northwest Cedar City Wednesday night. The rapist is between 5 foot 8 inches and 6 feet tall. Police urge community members to be aware of their surroundings and have safety precautions in order. Our reporter Emma Sorensen caught up with students around campus to hear about their safety precautions and how they'll feel safe here on campus.
I always take the same kinds of precautions, like paying attention to where I park my car and walking with people when I can and not being like out alone at night.
I think there's a good sense of like a tight community here on campus that we're close enough around each other that we can feel safe in that sort of a sense.
I appreciate that campus is like well lit at night and that we have those like emergency button things. I've never personally used one of those, but I think that it's nice to have stuff around where you can have it like accessible.
Walk in partners, like walk with somebody else, and also like try and get a group of friends that, especially for women, that has men in it who you know you can trust, because sexual predators probably won't attack people that are with somebody that they think is, you know, a threat.
At the Health and Wellness Center, we do want students to feel safe here on campus, and so when we get those, I have received those updates and those notifications, and so through those notifications that I get, I help the students here on campus make sure that they feel safe and that they're aware of these things.
A large party in Cedar Canyon this weekend prompted a large police raid. Around 40 officers from Iron County Sheriff and Cedar City Police Department were dispatched to shut down a party at a cabin with an estimated 500 people. They also sent police K-9 units and a helicopter to help aid the officers with the overwhelming amount of people. The party included many residents of Cedar City as well as St. George due to it being advertised on a popular social media page. Iron County Sheriff's Department confirmed this was the largest party they have seen in years. In the end, over 80 tickets were given out, as well as 9 DUIs and 1 arrest.
Cedar City community members are being kept in the loop about the growth of Southern Utah University thanks to a public forum held Friday evening. Citizens interested in the state of the university gathered in the Alumni House on SU campus for question and answer session with President Scott Wyatt. The group discussed a variety of topics, including the upcoming 3-year degree, homecoming, and the expansion of the aviation program. SU holds these community forums 4 times a year so that citizens in Cedar City are kept up to date on the important university events. The meetings provide community members with a unique opportunity to communicate with President Wyatt in a casual environment.
So we just want to make sure that they have an opportunity to talk to the president, because sometimes he can probably feel kind of inaccessible since he's in the 3rd floor of Old Main. So this is kind of makes it so that he's in a place that people are familiar with and they can ask him questions.
The Food and Drug Administration announced this week that losartan, a common blood pressure medication, has been issued an expanded recall. The manufacturer, Torrent Pharmaceuticals, stated that the reasoning behind the recall was due to an impurity found in some batches of the drug that could cause cancer. This will be the 5th time that the drug's recall has been expanded since the discovery, and the FDA has urged those on the medication to check if their medication is affected by the recall.
It's great news to hear about the recall. Glad they caught that before it became a huge outburst.
Before a big problem could ensue from that.
Yeah, luckily they were able to catch that. And then also great to hear about Mikey Stevens and was it Jared Cooksey. Yeah, congratulations to both the winners.
Yeah, I like Jared. I don't know Mikey all that well, so I'm not going to say anything because there's nothing I can say.
Oh, Mikey is actually one of my close personal friends, so I love him. I'm happy he was able to win.
Yeah.
How's the weather looking, Connor?
We're staying warm, but there's cool temperatures around the corner. Don't go anywhere.
Listen up. Each year, hundreds of promising research studies go unfunded for breast cancer, for lung cancer, every cancer. The American Cancer Society has been behind nearly every breakthrough in recent history. But there's still more work to do. So let's make sure that no research is silenced. Let's make noise. Let's make noise. Yeah. And let's finish the fight.
Okay, so we drowned the fire. Yep. Stirred it. Drowned it again. And now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
Welcome back to SUTV. I'm Connor Sanders. On another beautiful day in Cedar City as summer begins to wind down. Temperature's starting to look a little cooler as you can see today. Looking at 73 degrees Fahrenheit. Pretty good day to be outside. It feels really nice. The wind blowing, the trees are starting to change. A little cooler than we were even a couple weeks ago, but already transitioning into fall as you can tell. Tomorrow is going to be a little warmer with a high of 81 and the low of 48. It's going to be a little bit cloudy. And then Thursday, we're looking at a high of 78 and a low of 48 degrees. So it's going pretty well here as fall approaches. Still staying pretty warm during, the mid-afternoon hours, but nighttime we're starting to look a little cooler. Excellent here. Looking ahead to the 10-day forecast, you can see today, here we are, the high of 77 and the low of 44. And then looking towards the middle of this week and into the weekend, it's starting to cool down a little bit. 81 on Wednesday, 78 on Thursday, and then 77 on Friday. As you can see here for the weekend, Saturday we're looking at 73, and even Sunday we're already getting into the 60s with the low of 42. So even in the 30s at nighttime, even as soon as next week. So October starting to come and really starting to have an impact here in Cedar City. You can see the trees are starting to change. You can just feel the wind blowing more. It's feeling more crisp around campus, which is a good thing, especially if you're a fan of the fall weather, like I am. As you can see as well, this weekend looking pretty cloudy, Saturday and Sunday, which is going to be the big football game on Saturday for homecoming against Cal Poly. It's going to be a pretty cold nighttime game, so make sure you bring a jacket, make sure you dress warm, and that you don't get caught by surprise for what will be some cold temperatures looking ahead to this weekend. But beyond that, really fairly sunny toward the rest of this week, and looking even on Friday and Saturday. Early on it'll be pretty sunny, but the clouds will begin to cover and you'll start to feel those temperatures dropping. Really encourage you to look around, take a look at the trees. This is the time they're really going to start changing. It's going to be beautiful transitioning from those greens to those darker reds and oranges and things. So make sure you get outside, take a drive up the canyon, and really take advantage of this fall weather, because it's beginning to come, it's beginning to turn. So as you can see there, really good time to go outside and enjoy these fall temperatures, as even as soon as next week we're going to be looking into the 60s, so make sure you bring a jacket as you come to school in the next few days.
Personally, I'm very excited about the fall weather.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're a fall person, next week is going to be the week for you.
Yeah, and I really like the cool temperatures, but the question that's on everyone's minds, when can we fly the kite?
I think this weekend is a pretty good time to fly the kite.
Okay.
No chance of precipitation.
That's good.
But it'll be windier.
Is today a good day to fly a kite?
Pretty low winds to the south today, so you might need a running start to fly a kite.
Okay.
But if you want to fly a kite, that option is always available if you can run fast enough.
Just keep it afloat yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. So looking forward to the game. You said a little bit cloudy.
Yeah, it's going to be cloudy, looking forward to the game, and in the evening, once the sun goes down, it's going to get pretty cold, so make sure you bring a jacket, blanket, gloves.
Hopefully
don't want to be suffering
be able
during
to
that.
stick out the whole game.
Yeah,
hopefully
absolutely.
the clouds don't bring any down bearing on the players.
Yeah, and the sun's setting earlier and earlier, so.
Yeah.
Good luck to the players. Thanks for the weather update, Connor.
Here's a quick look at what's coming up next in sports.
Coming up on SUTV Sports, we've got a recap of last week's football game and a look into SCU soccer. We'll be right back.
Toxic chemicals and carcinogens are leaching into the environment. It's happening right where we live, work, and play. Everywhere. Cigarette butts are toxic waste. Let's stop the toxic litter. Learn more at rethinkbutts.org.
I'm hungry. I can't see the board.
Good morning, class. Everyone ready to learn today?
Of course they aren't ready. Across America, health barriers keep millions of disadvantaged school children from learning. Children's Health Fund is working to remove those barriers. But to really change the odds for these kids, we need your help. To find out how you can give every child a chance to be healthy and ready to learn, visit childrenshealthfund.org today.
Welcome back to SUTV Sports. I'm Connor Aist. The SUU football team traveled out to Brookings, South Dakota last weekend as they faced off against the third-ranked South Dakota State Jackrabbits. It was the T-Birds' final chance to get a win during their non-conference schedule. Although the Thunderbirds were able to keep the game close in the first quarter, the Jackrabbits were able to pull away in the second quarter behind the efforts of the defensive unit and quarterback Jabor Gibbs. Gibbs finished the game with 215 passing yards and 2 touchdowns, while the defense blocked 2 field goals, 1 punt, and returned a pick for a touchdown. The Thunderbirds were once again led by quarterback Chris Helbig, who finished the game with 211 passing yards, 40 rushing yards, and 1 touchdown on the ground. After the game, T-Bird head coach Demario Warren said the game was a lot closer than the final score showed.
Coach, feel like if you make a couple field goals, might have been a different game?
Maybe, but it doesn't matter. We missed them, so we got to fix some things. Got a kick block, a punt block, and threw a pick 6 there. So just too many mistakes versus a really good team, but we were right there with yards until the end there. They kind of grinded us out. I think the turnover battle was even if we didn't win the battle.
SCU soccer scored their first goal of the season last Friday. Mackenzie Lawrence scored on a corner kick in a 2-1 loss to Cal State Bakersfield. The goal ended a 6-game scoreless streak. The T-Birds fell behind in the 5th minute after Sophie Freeman scored for the Roadrunners. Just before halftime, Lawrence found the back of the net off of a congested corner kick. Cal Bakersfield took the lead back 16 seconds in the second half. Giselle Michelle scored and the Thunderbirds were not able to score again. The T-Birds also faced Boise State on Sunday. The Broncos routed SUU 4-0. After scoring 2 goals in the first 5 minutes, Boise controlled the game and outshot SUU 22-5. Southern Utah Soccer begins Big Sky Conference play this Saturday versus Northern Arizona in Flagstaff. The T-Birds sit at 0-8, but have a chance to turn things around during conference play. The California bill that would allow student athletes to make money off their own likeness officially received opposition from the NCAA. In a statement sent to the governor of California, the NCAA Board of Governors voiced their disapproval of the bill, stating that it would, quote, erase the critical distinction between college and professional athletics. The bill would allow for student athletes to profit off their own name, image, or likeness. Previously, student athletes could be ruled ineligible from NCAA competition if they were to be compensated for selling autographs or memorabilia. The bill would also allow student athletes to receive corporate endorsements and sponsorships. A main concern of the NCAA is that this would mean an unfair recruiting advantage for the larger schools. The NCAA said on their website, quote, right now nearly 500,000 student athletes in all 50 states compete under the same rules. This bill would remove that essential element of fairness and equal treatment that forms the bedrock of college sports. The NCAA continues its efforts to develop a system that would allow student athletes to receive compensation for the use of their name, image, and likeness, but that would not require the school to pay the players as employees. For SUTV Sports, I'm Connor Aist.
So you listened to the game on Saturday?
I did, and unfortunately, it was hard to listen to. I wish, part of me wishes I hadn't listened to it, because then I wouldn't be as disappointed as I was.
That's what I've heard. I've heard that it was a really big bummer hearing touchdown after touchdown.
Yeah. I mean, I only listened to the first half, but it was just touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. It's like, okay, this just hurts. I just need to turn this off.
Yeah, but let's higher hopes for this game Saturday.
I mean, higher hopes, yeah, because like you said, it will be a little cloudy, but hopefully that doesn't knock down any of the aspirations of the players.
Well, having it a home game, having a lot more support, and it's homecoming, it should bring the players' spirits up quite a bit. Coming up next, a look at the 2019 Emmy Awards.
And a look at the Area 51 event this past weekend. We'll be right back.
At what age is the color that your skin was meant to be no longer beautiful? Every year, millions of young women try to change the skin they were born with and say they die for darker skin. Sadly, some actually do. Melanoma is the second most common cancer in teens and young adults, and one person dies from melanoma every hour. Change your thinking, not your skin. Stop tanning. Learn more at spotskincancer.org. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
Did you check? Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. Got it. No?
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Think you found every hazard out here today? Think again. The spot you missed could be a killer. That spot on your skin could be skin cancer. If you're a man over 50, you're in a group most likely to develop skin cancer, including melanoma, the kind that kills one person every hour. That's why your best shot is to check for a spot. It's easy. Follow through and check your skin. Go to spotskincancer.org to find out how. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
The 71st Emmys were held on September 22nd. The event featured 32 nominations in over 25 categories. Some major wins were Game of Thrones, which took home the Emmy for Outstanding Drama Series and Outstanding Supportive Actor for Peter Dinklage. Fleabag, created by Phoebe Waller-Bridge, took home the Emmy for Outstanding Comedy Series as well as Outstanding Lead Actress in a Comedy Series.
I find writing really, really hard and really painful, and but I'd like to say just honestly from the bottom of my heart that the reason that I do it is this.
When you put value into a person, it empowers that person to get in touch with their own inherent value, and then where do they put that value? They put it into their work.
Oh my God, God bless you all. The category is love, y'all, love. I am so overwhelmed and I am so overjoyed to have lived long enough to see this day.
The evening was marked as historical for its choice to not include a host following the path of the Oscars earlier this year, as well as Billy Porter's win for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Drama Series, marking him as the first openly gay man to win an Emmy.
The new film Hustlers was released on September 13th. The movie follows a crew of savvy strip club employees who band together to turn the tables on the Wall Street clients. The film is rated R. It's directed and written by Lorraine Scafaria and led by leading character Jennifer Lopez. The film won an estimated $33 million at the U.S. box office over the weekend. That was just enough to give the film place second, just behind It Chapter 2. Hustlers also exceeded industry expectations and its budget, making over $60 million so far compared to a $21 million budget.
Dr. Sleep is a continuation of Danny Torrance's story 40 years after the terrifying events of Stephen King's The Shining. A now adult Dan Torrance meets a young girl with similar powers as himself and tries to protect her from a cult known as the True Knot, who prey on children with powers to remain immortal. The film was not rated yet, but will hit theaters November 8th, 2019. The movie is directed and written by Mike Flanagan, and it's starring Ewan McGregor and Rebecca Ferguson.
This past weekend, iHeartRadio held their 9th annual music festival at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. The festival includes 2 nights of concerts, plus an additional daytime concert on Saturday in the outside heat. This year's lineup featured more than 30 of the radio's most popular artists, including Miley Cyrus, Camila Cabello, Green Day, Billie Eilish, and more.
The small Nevada towns of Rachel and Heiko are back to normal after Storm Area 51 over the weekend. The viral Facebook event started as a meme earlier this year, but swiftly took off as a global phenomenon. The event was expected to draw 25,000 people from around the world, but only ended up having between 75 and 100 people at 3 a.m. on September 20th, and 3,000 over the total over the weekend. One arrest was made during the weekend for indecent exposure, while a woman was let off with a warning after she crossed the border of the base property. In all, 7 arrests were made over the weekend with 4 citations. Lincoln County Sheriff Carrie Lee said that the officers around the base were talking with the visitors, and the crowd was overall very positive. Several people who attended said they enjoyed the sense of community the event brought.
Next up, our reporter Alex Schilling has a look at one of SU's up-and-coming artists, Israel Contreras.
Israel Contreras is a senior at SU that is hoping to become an artist once he gets out of college. He's majoring in illustration and spends on average 5 to 6 hours a day drawing. This is on top of his busy schedule as a janitor for the school and a heavy course load. That's not the only thing about Israel that demonstrates his dedication. He will also be a first-generation graduate after his parents immigrated to the United States from Mexico in hope of a better future for themselves and their children. Naturally, his parents are proud of his accomplishments as well as his interests.
But they'd always been very supportive about it, and they were open to whatever degree I decided to go into or what my career choice or my career path would be.
His main focus is to become a visual designer where he would develop characters and environments that would fit into one unified world, essentially creating an entire look that the world would follow. While he has always been working on art, at times when he shouldn't.
I don't know, just sketching during classes, which is probably pretty bad.
It wasn't until he saw one specific movie that he really decided this was more than just a hobby and could be a career he would be passionate about.
The film that actually got me into wanting to pursue this career would be How to Train Your Dragon, the first one.
Which ties directly into one of his goals when he graduates.
A goal of mine would be to work in-house at DreamWorks Studios. So
he's also deeply tied to his roots with a sense of pride and happiness.
I will always, put my family and my heritage first.
With this in mind, he adores the Pixar film Coco and sees it as a big inspiration and point of pride. He also hopes to be able to one day work on something related to his culture that would be able to inspire other artists and give them the same sense of pride he feels.
I will go full force and, to the best of my ability to create something just amazing like that.
Right now he's busy at work with school and the senior art show at the end of the spring semester. His passion and dedication could just lead him to create something you'll be seeing on the big screen someday. This has been Alex Schilling reporting. Back to the desk.
Well, Israel Contreras, I guess he also saying that How to Train Your Dragon was an inspiration to him from the beginning, still is today. He watches a TV show on Netflix all the time and to get inspiration.
Yeah, his art is beautiful. I really liked looking at those, just that package. You could tell how talented he is. So
yeah, he's passionate about it too, and that's great to hear that his family supports him and that he's ready to get a career out of it.
Do any of you receive inspiration from cartoons, your favorite cartoons?
SpongeBob really inspired me.
SpongeBob is good.
SpongeBob.
Life lessons.
Cat Dog.
Those are the old ones. Cat Dog.
Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Courage the Cowardly Dog was kind of creepy, actually.
Ben 10. All of my favorite TV shows.
You know what I found inspiring? The Area 51 raid.
Oh.
You know?
A community coming together for a good cause.
For Naruto-nuns.
Thanks for tuning in. That's all we have for you. I'm Carol Cook.
I'm Connor Sanders.
And I'm Connor Ace.
And I'm Ryan Sunderman. Tune in Thursday for our next show.